I'm here with Henry Goulding of Overmarine Asia. Henry, you just established here the office of Overmarine in Singapore. Can you tell me something about the decision to establish here in Singapore and not somewhere else in Asia?
Yeah, I think Singapore is a really exciting area. It's the Monaco of Asia. It's where all the wealth from China is going to be flowing into. We've seen a huge appetite for luxury goods here, like Louis Vuitton. All the big stores have reported enormous growth. The appetite for luxury real estate. You've got just behind me in Sentosa Cove, $40 million homes. So I think yachting is the next step, and it's the next thing people are going to be going for. Yeah. Or so we hope.
And you have been a skipper on a Mangusta in this region. How are the cruising grounds here? Is that perfect for like a fast Mangusta yacht?
Yeah, look, I think there's a huge stigma about people not knowing where to go here, but I don't think that's true. You've got the Burmese islands in the north, quite far north, but in the north and unspoilt. You've got Phuket, which is a fantastic cruising ground. Phang Nga Bay, which is actually very suitable for maxi open yachts because it's very shallow, so they can get into all the cool spots. Further to the west, you've got the Similan Islands, the Andaman Islands, all totally unexplored. Sure, the distances are slightly greater than in the Med, but crew is cheaper, so the yachts can be positioned, and then the owners can fly in and meet the yachts.
Yeah. And the office is very new still, but do you already feel that there's a strong interest in the Mangusta yachts from this region?
Look, I think there are loads of amazing yacht brands here. We've certainly met some nice people, some good people, some potential buyers. Yeah. So for sure, I think it's an exciting place to be, and we're very excited to be here.
And looking at the rest of Asia, are you also exploring, for example, Indonesia or India, maybe even, or China?
Look, I mean, there are 4.5 billion people in Asia, so I think there's going to be a huge appetite eventually for yachts. I'm focused on Singapore with Overmarine, but for sure, development in the region is on the plan. Yeah. Is in the plan.
Yeah. And Mangusta is now also building displacement yachts. Do you think there's a market for that as well, or do you think they first look at the fast yachts from Mangusta?
Mangusta is well known for maxi open yachts, going very fast, very sexy yachts. We're just developing the Oceano range, so the 42 and the 46. One has just been sold, so that's encouraging. Not in Asia, but I'm sure they'll be successful here as well. It's a different lifestyle. It's one that's just being moved into, but yeah. For sure they're great boats.
Yeah. And from your experience, it's very different to sell yachts to clients from Asia than to Western clients or American clients?
Yeah, they definitely want a different experience. Air conditioning is key, whereas in the Med it's more of an open experience. It's more, we like sunbathing, we like eating outside. I think that's different in Asia, but there's a lot to learn. There's a lot to discover still.
And are there already Mangusta yachts in this region, or is that still something which needs to develop?
There are 2 in Hong Kong. There's been one in Singapore, I believe last year. She was here. There are a couple in Phuket, so they're definitely in the region. Yeah.
And hopefully a few more in Singapore.
Hopefully a few more in the future. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Henri.